Bonjour, bienvenue. Je m'appelle Madame Metzger, and this is Allez, Viens, Level 1 book, Chapter 9, and this is the deuxième étape. And in this étape, we are learning how to answer a phone call and make a phone call. And we're also working with present tense and past tense of our RE verbs. Let's get started. First, for making a phone call, you dial up, they answer, and to say hello, of course, is simply bonjour. Is this so-and-so's house? Répétez. Je suis bien chez. You know what? I'm going to use Véronique as my example. Répétez. Je suis bien chez Véronique. Then you say who you are. C'est Madame Metzger. If you want, you can also just say, is Véronique there? Véronique est là, s'il vous plaît? May I speak to Véronique? Je peux parler à Véronique? Let's say Véronique isn't there or she's busy. You can ask if you can leave a message. May I leave a message? Répétez. Je peux laisser un message? Or the message could simply be, can you tell him or her that I called? Vous pouvez lui dire que j'ai téléphoné? Let's break that one down. Vous pouvez lui dire que j'ai téléphoné? Good job. If you call and there's no answer and you're letting somebody else know, répétez, ça ne répond pas. Or it's busy. C'est occupé. Of course, we know how to say thank you. Get that R in the back of your throat. Merci. Merci. Bravo. These are common expressions you'll need to make a phone call. But what if you're answering that phone call? Hide that. There we go. Answering a phone call. The phone rings. Allô? That's right. We don't say bonjour when we answer the phone. Instead, we say allô? If they don't say who they are and they're talking to you and asking questions, you can say, who is this? Or literally, who is on the apparatus? Répétez. Qui est à l'appareil? Notice the way we pronounce that. Répétez. Qui est à l'appareil? Good. Next, can you call back later? Vous pouvez rappeler plus tard? Good. If you need to tell them to hold on for a second while you go look for them or you're going to look for something to write on or something like that, répétez. Ne quittez pas. Literally means don't hang up. Don't quit this conversation. Répétez. Ne quittez pas. If that person is not there, you can say, il n'est pas là, or elle n'est pas là. Good. If they want to leave a message, you can say something like, bon, or d'accord, or bien sûr. Good. When they thank you, you can say you're welcome and goodbye. Répétez, je t'en prie. Au revoir. Excellent. Those are the ways we answer and make a phone call. Please feel free to rewind this video as many times as you need to get that pronunciation down. At this point, we're going to move on to RE verbs. We already know how to conjugate ER verbs, our biggest group of regular verbs. And now we're going to start on RE verbs, verbs that end in RE and are regular. They, just like ER verbs and IR verbs, they follow a pattern. So you're going to see similarities here. First of all, what are some RE verbs that we will be able to use? Well, we have 6 for you just to get started. There are more, but these are the ones we use the most often. All right, now you're going to have the R at the end. So get ready to say your R's in the back of your throat. Répétez, répondre, vendre, attendre, perdre, entendre, rendre, This rendre, to give back, you've like borrowed something or taken something and now you are giving it back. Rendre. Excellent. How do we conjugate these verbs? I know you're dying to know. How do we conjugate? Well, step one is going to be a lot like conjugating an ER or an IR verb. We're going to drop the RE from the infinitive, which gives us the base. So, laisse tomber le RE. Et ensuite, on ajoute les terminations. Then we add the endings. So my example here, and I believe in your notes, yep, your notes, you want to fill these out as we go, is vendre. And vendre means to sell. So d'abord, on laisse tomber le RE. So we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to ajoute les terminations S. S. Rien. Rien means nothing. So SS, nothing. SS, rien. And then what's fantastic is our endings for nous, vous, and il and el pluriel are just exactly the same as our ER ending. So ONS, EZ, ENT. I don't have a song for this, but I have more like a cheerleading chant. And we're going to get ready. And it goes S, rien. ONS, EZ, ENT. S, rien. ONS, EZ, ENT. I hope that helps you. Now, we're not going to hear the S's and we're not going to hear the ENT. So, répétez. Je vende. Tu vendes. Ils vendent. Nous vendons. Vous vendez. Ils vendent. I know, it's hard not to pronounce the ENT, but we don't. Another thing to keep in mind, as it says there under je vende, remember, no helping verbs in French ever for present tense. So je vende can be translated 3 different ways in English. I sell, I am selling, and I do sell. But remember, only one way for present tense in French. What about passé composé? Well, we've actually already learned this, but we're going to review it. For passé composé, first step is to conjugate your helping verb, which is typically avoir, avoir pour la possession, j'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont, avoir. Step 2, what do we do for our verbs? For all of them, we're going to take the R off, on enlève RE, et on ajoute, add on, U. So what does that look like? J'ai attendu, I waited, I have waited, I did wait. 3 different ways for passé composé also. One way in French, conjugate avoir, create a past participle. Tu as attendu, did you wait? Il a attendu, he waited. Nous avons attendu, we waited. Vous avez attendu, did you all wait? Ils ont attendu, elles ont attendu, they waited. Of course, if you want to make this negative, we know our ne pas is going to go around the avoir, the conjugated. So if you wanted to say they didn't wait, it would be ils n'ont pas attendu. Excellent. Now, our RE verbs are not to be confused with prendre. We've already learned prendre, and this is not how we conjugate prendre in the present tense or in the past tense. So it's time to take a look at prendre again, which means to have food or drink or to take. It starts out the same way. We take the RE off, S, rien, but then something changes. We drop the D, ONS, drop the D, EZ, and then we double the N on the il and el pluriel, ils prennent. So it is not an RE verb, it's irregular. Also, you cannot create a past participle for prendre like the RE verbs. You memorize the irregular past participle pris. J'ai pris, tu as pris, il a pris, nous avons pris, vous avez pris, ils ont pris. And don't forget, if you put an AP in front of prendre, it changes the meaning to learn. If you put a COM in front of prendre, it changes the meaning to comprendre, comprehend. And you conjugate them the same way, though. All right, this concludes our video. Rewind it, take your notes as many times as you need to. Rewind as many times, slow it down to take your notes. Hope you've enjoyed it, and a biento.